Hello everyone, so today I'm going to show you a very quick explanation of why I think Zorin OS is a better option for first-time Windows users instead of Mint, which is sort of the de facto choice for Linux distributions that people recommend. Now, this is not to say that Linux Mint isn't a great distribution. It really is, but you do have to go through a few extra steps to get Windows applications working, which Zorin has basically built into their system, making it a lot easier. So I think for people migrating from Windows that still want that ability to install Windows applications, Zorin is the much better choice. First, I'll show you how Mint does it, and then I'll show you how Zorin OS does it. If you try to install a Windows application on Mint, you'll be presented with this sort of breakdown of the files within the installation. That's obviously not what you want. So you could try to install Wine through their software store, but unfortunately, when you do that, there's a secondary step you need to do to get it to the point where just double-clicking on an exe file will install the software. So it's much easier in this regard to install it through the terminal. Now, as Windows users, most people aren't comfortable with the command line on the terminal. But this is how you will need to do it to basically avoid a step later on. First, you need to go to the winehq.org website, choose Ubuntu for Mint, because that's what Mint is based on, and then figure out what version of Ubuntu you're using. And so that is the command cat/etc/os-release. Now you can see what version of Ubuntu Mint is based on. This version is Noble. So now we go back to the winehq.org website and then copy these commands. Now you can highlight it and then right-click and choose copy and then paste into the terminal, or you can click on the copy to clipboard button and then do a Control-Shift-V to paste, or right-click and paste. You will need to do that for every command. Once that's done, you want to do a copy and paste to install the staple branch version of Wine. And then that will install all of the files and configure Mint properly. You will need to give it a little time to do its work. Okay, once it's done installing everything, you can close the terminal and close the browser. Now, when you try to run a Windows executable file, first time it will configure Wine for you, and then it will launch into the exe file install process. And there you have it. Mint is now running Wine and able to run Windows executable files. Now, let me show you how easy it is on Zorin OS. Compared to Mint, Zorin has all this stuff built in. So if the first time you're trying to run an exe file, it'll tell you that it needs the Windows App Support. So go ahead and install Windows App Support. Type in your password, and then sit back and relax, because this will take a couple of minutes. So the first time we'll automatically configure Wine for you and automatically start the installation of the exe. Just run it like you would a Windows program. And there you go. Windows application running in Linux. Now you'll notice that the desktop icon does have a red X on it because it's not launchable. This is more of a security feature. Simply right click on it and choose Allow Launching. And now it will launch like any other application. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any comments or suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below.